Hello, teachers. Welcome, welcome. We're just going to hang out for a couple minutes and give everyone a chance to get logged on. So we're just going to hang out for a few minutes. While we're waiting, I'll introduce myself as well as my co-host tonight. My name is Alicia. I'm the national speaker here at BombBomb, and this is Kevin. He is our client enablement manager, and both Kevin and I spend a large portion of our time teaching and educating. So it's such an honor to be with fellow educators tonight and show you some stuff that hopefully will make your lives a little bit easier over the coming months.
Fingers crossed.
I also have Michelle hanging out in chat tonight, and she's going to be helping answer some questions and just moderate. So while we're waiting for people to still get logged in, if you want to pop open that chat window, you should have an option at the bottom of your screen that says chat. Just pop it open, say hello, let us know where you are joining us from tonight so that we can say hello. Again, if you just logged on, we're going to hang out for just a minute or two, give everyone that's joining us tonight a chance to get logged in. So pop open that chat window, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from tonight. Hello, Denisha from Washington, D.C. Welcome. We've got Mayra from Maryland, New York. Awesome. We've got East Coasters hanging out.
Late over there on the East Coast. You guys are committed to this. I appreciate it. We're excited to have you here.
We originally, when we planned these 7 o'clock webinars, we were thinking that it would make it easier for our West Coast teachers to join us. And here we are blowing up on the East Coast.
Literally everybody is hanging it.
So the other window that I do want to make you guys aware of while we're just hanging out here for a second is there's a Q&A box down there below where you found the chat window. Just keep in mind that it's easier for us to answer questions rather than trying to scroll through chat at the end. So if you do have questions that pop up throughout this training, throw them in that Q&A box. Michelle might answer some of them if it's not really applicable to the whole group, and then she'll leave some of those for us to answer at the end. I'm going to go ahead and jump in now that it seems we have most of those numbers have slowed down. So my name is Alicia, and I'm joined by Kevin tonight. We are so excited that you guys joined us so that we can teach you how to use video in your day-to-day education now. I just want to start by just telling you a little bit about us. We are primarily video email for sales and customer service, and that's where we usually are spending our time educating. But the reason why we do this is that we talk about this idea of rehumanized communication, putting you back into your email communication, because email is just black text on a white screen, and you miss out on so much of the things that make you good at communicating. Eye contact, personality, tonality, presence, all of those things you miss out in plain text communication, and that's why sales and service professionals use it. But all of the reasons why a sales professional use it is even more important for education. All of the things that make you good at your job rely on those human elements, your ability to empathize and your ability to explain complex things and your tonality and your presence with those kids. And so we as a company just wanted to make it easier for you guys to get face-to-face. And that's really why we're here. Kevin, you have anything to add there?
No, it was funny as you were talking through some of that stuff. I was literally thinking in my head, isn't that true just in general? All of the things that are important in like business, in life, are more important for teachers, right? Because you guys have probably the most important job that is out there in like molding the minds of our future generations and what our world becomes. And unfortunately, that probably doesn't get appreciated nearly as much as it needed. But just know that we here at BombBomb have a huge heart for what you guys do. We all have sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, aunts, uncles, family that are teachers and educators just like you. And we're honored to be able to talk with you guys and serve you guys and hopefully give you some good use cases of why this can make a huge difference for you. So we're really excited you're here.
Exactly. And just some stats for you guys to open it up. So far, we launched this, last Friday?
Mhm.
When we found out that our schools here were going completely remote for the time being, we saw an opportunity to really just make this available for teachers. This whole thing was developed in about 36 hours,
Mhm.
tons of resources, but just since last Friday, so in less than a week, we have seen over 2,000 videos sent out by teachers to their students.
Awesome.
Teacher that has sent out the most videos so far has sent out 97 videos.
In
In
like 4 days, right?
and
Or 5 days, whatever that is.
Yep.
Wow.
All of that equals 583 hours of FaceTime that teachers have been able to show up to their students and to the families of their students, and to show up and really be there in that face-to-face capacity through video. So we're so excited about this. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk just a little bit about why video, and primarily why this kind of simple video. We're going to show you guys some ways that you can use video to communicate with your students, with your parents, as well as your colleagues. And we have some video examples from teachers just like you that have already started using the platform. So I'm really excited to show you those. And then we're going to show you the how to. We want to make sure that at the end of this training class tonight, that you feel comfortable and you are ready and you know how to record and send a video to one person, how you can upload a list and send to an entire class list, or if you're an administrator, send to your entire sending list, as well as we're going to show you how to use our screen recorder, which is a really cool tool that our teachers are loving. So I'm just going to jump right in and just kind of talk a little bit more about this idea of rehumanized communication. I already touched on this, but presence, this is a big one for you guys as teachers.
Mhm.
And that empathy and your ability to explain with clarity, your knowledge, your experience, these are all things that get missed in plain text communication. And simple video really is just putting that back in, right? It's putting your presence back in, and tonality and your ability to explain. And you'll see that in some of the examples from the teachers. The other thing that I just want to mention to you guys on this idea of rehumanized communication is that your students are already consuming a ton of video. This mode is really familiar to them. I have a 9th grader, a 7th grader, and a 5th grader, and I can tell you they consume a ton of video on a regular basis. My 5th grader goes to YouTube to learn how to do magic tricks and card tricks, right? So they're actually used to learning and consuming information this way. This is probably more uncomfortable for you than it is going to be for them to consume.
Well, and what I love about that, Alicia, is that I hope you find both of those things as comforting things. I think they can feel a little bit scary, but just like Alicia, I've got a little 5-year-old, his name's Oliver. He did something on my phone the other day that I was like, I don't even know how you did that, right? They're growing up in this technology. They're used to it. And so what's great about that is they're comfortable. They want to watch video. They're retaining this information off of video literally every single day. Even though it feels a little bit unique for us, they're comfortable with that. But what I also want you guys to be comfortable with as educators, as teachers, is that top portion, is that presence, empathy, your ability to explain with clarity, tonality, right? So when you think about video, if you think about Mom as just video, that sounds scary. That feels different. That feels new. But when I look at that list of different things there, that's literally like a job posting for a teacher. These are things that you guys bring to the table, probably without even trying very much. These are so many of your natural strengths. And I want you guys to see that. I want you to see that literally just by being you, by bringing you what you naturally do in the classroom and putting it on video, that's exactly what's going to make this so impactful and so powerful. So hopefully you can find a little bit of comfort in that, that you're already probably a lot better at this than you think, and your kids are excited and ready to retain this information.
The last thing that I just want to mention on this idea of rehumanized email communication is this is going to give you the ability to be there in person when you can't be there in person. And this is a phrase that we use at BombBomb all the time with our clients. And now that we're all in this situation where we're displaced and we're isolated from being in person, this is really going to give you that ability to be right in front of them. We communicate most effectively face-to-face. In fact, humans have been communicating face-to-face for as long as humans have been communicating. The written word came after. Email came a lot further along after the written word. And so,
are you sure about that? Are you sure they weren't emailing right up front?
pretty sure. And the other thing on this is that we actually understand information more effectively when it's communicated by a human face. Such a large portion of our communication is the nonverbals, right? Eye contact, voice inflection, body language. This is such a huge part of communication. And when we watch a video, we actually retain 90% of the message, as opposed to when we read it in an email, you only retain about 10% of it the first time. So especially when you are explaining concepts or going over expectations or, outlining a project, that ability to be there in person and show up on video, even though you cannot be in the classroom with your students, is going to make a huge, huge difference in the way that they retain and are able to execute that.
And I love this point because I think you guys as teachers and educators are probably the last people we need to convince of this concept, right? You guys understand I'm almost drawing this metaphor of text communication, text email is literally like you being a teacher and just throwing a book at your kids and being like, learn, right? And walking away. Some kids would probably get some of that information and they would learn something, but you guys are the difference makers. What you bring to the table, that emotion, that empathy, all of that stuff that you guys bring is why they retain so much more of this teaching. That's why people learn. And Alicia and I were joking about this a couple days ago. I know I took calculus in high school. I don't remember a single thing I learned in calculus, but I can tell you my teacher's name. And I remember that he was awesome. Mr. Anderson was incredible. That's the difference that you guys bring. That's why they retain more of that information, because you're bringing it and using both sides of their brain and all that sort of stuff. So again, just encouraging you guys that you're really, really already good at a lot of this. We just have to work through this different frame of how you're presenting that to your students.
Exactly. So let's just jump in. And before I jump in, sorry, I wanted to share this one last thing with you guys. So my boss actually shared this article with me first thing on Monday morning, and it was what teachers in China have learned in the past month. And I put the link down there so that you guys can go and check it out if you want, because there was a lot of really cool things in there. I just pulled out the two in regards to video. And the first one is that they were using YouTube. But what they were doing was putting the videos on YouTube and then downloading them and then taking it and putting it into a Google Drive or OneDrive, which takes a lot of time. That's a complicated process. The good news for you guys is that this is essentially a record and then send. So it takes out all of that extra legwork. But that was one of the things that teachers in China learned, that video was a crucial part to them being able to communicate and educate their students. The other thing that I saw that jumped out at me is that they actually, some of them were having students send videos back. Well, we have a really, really cool thing built into the platform called Reply with Video that we're going to show you how it works. It's super easy, but this gives your students the ability to reply back. Maybe you want them to, send something back to you. They're not going to have a BombBomb account. They're not going to have any special software. As long as they have an internet connection, where if you're sending them an email, they have an internet connection, they're going to be able to send you a video back just as easy. So really, really excited about being able to share that with you guys too. So the first way that you are most likely going to want to use this is to communicate with parents. I'm sure that you have probably already received some frustrated emails from parents. You guys receive those even when you're in the classroom. And now you have teachers or you have parents trying to be a teacher. I literally, right before we jumped on this webinar, I was helping my 5th grader with his math homework, and there was a lot of groaning. So this is going to be a great way for you to communicate with those parents and have tonality and presence, as well as set up expectations, communicate things to them that are going to help them as they're trying to teach their students. And so it's going to be really, really helpful for communicating with parents. The other thing that I want to point out to you guys is that it saves you time. We speak on average about 4 times faster than we can type, or if you are like me, that's about 8 times faster than you can type. Plus, you don't have to try and figure out how to craft that plain text message so that it's taken properly, right? If you have ever sent an email or a text message that was misunderstood because tonality was lacking, you understand why this matters. So this is going to be faster for you, but also just an easier way to communicate with those parents. The other thing that I want to point out to you is that if you are sending through BombBomb, and we're going to show you both ways, how to send a video through BombBomb, as well as how to send through whatever communication portal you normally communicate to parents. But if you send through BombBomb, we do tracking. So we actually track by email address and let you know if your message has been opened, if the video was played, how long they watched the video. We had a teacher the other night that was on the training session that popped into chat and said that he loved the tracking because he was able to see which of his students were actually watching the lessons and which weren't, or if they watched the whole lesson. So if you're sending through BombBomb, you're going to have all of that information, which can be a really good insight into knowing if a family or if a student is disengaged right now. So I'm going to show you this example in just a second. This is Miss Penny, and Miss Penny was actually doing an out loud reading for her elementary school kids. And you can see the timestamp on the video. It's actually a 16-minute video, and you have the ability through BombBomb to record longer videos. But what I love about Miss Penny's video is that she sets it up at the beginning for the parents to tell them what to expect and to give them some helpful tips for helping their kids work through this read aloud reading. So I'm not going to play the whole video for you, obviously, but I just want you to see how Miss Penny is using video to communicate with the parents and set them up for success.
Good morning, families and friends. Here we are for part 2 of Saving Winslow. Before I get started, I just want to give the parents an idea as far as this read aloud goes. 2 things. One is it is a lot of reading. 15 minutes is a lot of reading without stopping and talking about what's happening. So pausing the video and just kind of talking about what's happening in the story will be helpful for them to comprehend. And then the next thing that I was thinking is if they, after each video, just writing a short summary about what happened in the story. I didn't send home a lot of writing papers.
Good job, Miss Penny. You know, one of the things that I love about it is you can tell she's just being natural and she's not worrying about it being perfect or polished. She's just speaking naturally, is what we want to encourage you guys to do. Don't obsess over a perfect video. There's no such thing. Yeah. In fact, if you try and record a perfect video, you're going to spend a long time. I've been doing this for several years. I think I have about 8,000 videos in my account, and I don't know that I would call any of them a perfect video.
No. You know, it's funny, when I was watching that, obviously we've watched this a couple times. I was actually the one that reached out to Mrs. Penny here, and she was terrified to let us use her example. So I want to give her a shout out of just thank you. I know this was new for her. This was nervous for her. I think what I love the most about this is thinking about it from a parent's perspective. Of me as a parent, when my son, and he's only in preschool, so he's not even going through super difficult learning stuff, but we're working on writing and letters and some of those things. If his teachers would have given us some things to work on, that would have been amazing. My wife and I have just kind of been winging it every day and hoping we're working on the right things. But I imagine how much pressure that would have taken off me as a parent and how much better we would have been able to help him. I think what's so different about this, you're always dependent on parents helping at home, right? As a teacher, that's just a normal thing. But man, you guys are more dependent than ever on people like me being able to pull our weight. And so if you're able to help a parent along with that and not only say, hey, I acknowledge don't just sit them in front of this video for 15 minutes because that's not going to be a great way for them to learn, right? Space this out and have them write little bits. Holy cow, if you would have given me that, I will do that 100% of the time. I'm excited to keep his learning going if I know what to do. That's the scary part as a parent.
Exactly. So we're going to jump into a BombBomb account now and show you guys the basics. And we're going to build on this throughout. So we're going to come back to this a couple times because you guys as educators know repetition helps with retention. So Kevin is going to start out by showing you the basic, the easiest way to record and send a video. So go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, so some of you probably already recognize kind of what we're looking at here. This is our dashboard when you log into BombBomb. So this is kind of your central hub for information. You can do a lot of different things from this screen, but the one thing that I really want to show you more than anything is this red record button up at the top. So this will be right next to your picture if you upload a picture, or your name on the right side. And what this red record button is this is our quick send feature. We kind of joke that little red button's our clown nose, just because that's an easy way to remember it. But what's great about it is how easy it is. I literally just clicked on that button. You can see my recorder is already open. It's already working. It's that simple. The whole goal of BombBomb is to make it so that you don't have to take 10 steps to record and deliver a video. And unfortunately, that's what YouTube and Vimeo and some of those other sites requires, because you have to upload it and do all these different steps, right? So with BombBomb, you hit record once and we pull up this screen for you. Now, the first thing I want to draw your attention to is the red record button right in the middle. All you have to do, I'm not recording my video yet. We let you decide when you're ready to record. Whenever you're ready to record, you hit that record button and we give you a countdown. As soon as you saw that flash just pop up on my screen, that means I'm live recording. So I'm live recording this video right now. Now, one tip that I always like to give clients when I'm working with them is the space bar on your computer. What the space bar does is it actually allows you to stop that video right when you hit the space bar versus searching for a couple of seconds at the end of your video to try and find that stop button, right? So you can finish it nice and clean. Great students, I miss you guys so much. I can't wait to see you soon. And you end on a nice clean note. It's just a way to just make that really, really, succinct at the end of that video. So my video is ready to go. I don't need to do anything else there. The rest of this, guess what? You're already an expert at, because it's just email stuff. So you get to put in who you're sending it to, right? So I'll go ahead and just type in an email address as an example. You can type in multiple ones up here. You can see if we're typing it in, you can type up to 10 email addresses just in this quick send if you want to send off. You can change the subject line right here. And the other thing I want to draw your attention to within the email is the text portion. Video does not erase all of your text in your email. That's not the goal of it. We always want you to have text in your emails. However, it's a little different, right? We're not just going to type out everything we say in the video, because then there's no point of them watching the video itself. So the two things I want you guys to think about in the text portion is, one, a little sentence that will encourage your students or teachers or parents to watch the video itself. So something like, hey guys, here's our homework for today. Take a look at the video for all the details. That's simple, right? But now they know why they need to watch the video, why the video is there. The second thing I want you guys to include in the text is any tasks, any homework, any things that your recipients are going to need to follow up on. Here's the reason why. Have you ever gotten a voicemail where somebody leaves their phone number in the voicemail and you get like the first 5 or 6 digits and then you're like, oh crap, now I got to go back, listen to the whole voicemail again to get those last couple digits, right? We've all probably experienced that. It's exactly the same with video. We don't want the video to be a nuisance. We want it to amplify the experience for them. So anything of the next steps or the tasks or their homework for that day, type it down here in the text so they can watch the video and then they can just refer back to that text there just so you can see that naturally. So that's literally the steps that it takes to record and send. I'll walk you through that again just so you can see in real time how quick and easy that is. But the one other piece I want to show you is this content down here at the bottom. We've built this basic template for you guys to be able to use whenever you send out a BombBomb. And there's a couple things. One, this will pull your picture. If you upload your picture in there, it will automatically pull that in. It's also going to pull any information from your profile.
I'm going to pause you there. Where would they put their picture, Kevin?
What was that?
Where would they put the picture?
So the picture itself, you can actually upload in your profile in BombBomb. So I'll show you that real quick. It's right up here. If I hover over this and just click edit my profile, you'll see where you can fill all of this information in. And then our system will automatically pull that into this template portion here. Now, a caveat to that, don't put your personal address if you don't want your students and teachers showing up, right? So maybe put the school address on there. Just a little tip of something I'm thinking about, because I wouldn't want those uninvited guests showing up. But the last piece I wanted to show you with the template here is this reply with video button. That was what Alicia referred to earlier of how you can start to have a back and forth communication with your students. This reply with video button, when they click that, it opens up your BombBomb recorder. It saves it into your BombBomb account, and it emails you automatically when they reply with a video. So they don't have to download anything, upload anything, don't need a BombBomb account. It's really easy for them. And now you have that video so that you can view it. So that's a great way to where you can start having conversations with parents, right? So we'll use that as an example of we've had to have some really hard conversations with our preschool because we are paying for our preschool, right? So we've had to have those conversations that nobody wants to have about financial stuff. Well, that conversation is so much easier when we can feel the tonality and the empathy and those sort of things. If we can go back and forth with video, it makes that such a better conversation than any misunderstandings from text could possibly be. So let me run you through this one more quick time, and then I'm going to hand this back over to Alicia to jump into number 2. But again, we'll click the red record button here. We'll go ahead and record our video. And I'm literally just doing this live so you can see how quick and easy I can work through this process. And then I would put in the person's email address, the subject line, add some text here. And then you have 2 options. You can either save and exit if you just want to save this video to grab the link. I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit here. Or if you want to send this email directly, you click the blue send button right there, and that email is off and ready to go. It's that easy.
Super easy. The last thing I just want to mention about the reply with video, which makes this really cool, is that even if your students are watching your video on their phone, because I know especially my high schooler and my middle schooler, they open up the school emails on their phone a lot of times before I even get to them, and they can even reply with video from their phone. So it's really, really easy for them to do it. It does not require any technology on their spot. As long as there's a camera on the device, then they'll be able to reply with video.
One thing I want to touch on real quick here, just because I saw the question come in, Corinna wrote in and she asked, how will group emails work, those sort of things? We're going to show you a couple of different ways to handle this a little bit later in the conversation of how you can pull it into your system you're already using, or we can upload a list of people in BombBomb. So we'll talk through that, Corinna, just so you know we will address that for sure.
Exactly. So a couple of the things that you are most likely going to be doing most of the time with this video is communicating with your students, whether it's just checking in. We've seen some teachers doing that already, sending beginning of the day videos. Good morning, class. I'll be available from this time to this time. Giving assignments, providing feedback on assignments. Man, that's one where tonality really, really matters. I know that you love your students and that you don't want them to wonder if the feedback that you're providing on an assignment, if you're mad at them, or if you thought that it was a stupid question that they asked or whatever. And that's where tonality is really going to help you. Demonstrating concepts, that's another one that's really where video is going to come in huge. And so I have 2 video examples to show you, okay? So the first one is Mr. Murphy, and he is using our screen recorder. So the cool thing about our screen recorder is that there's lots of screen recorders out on the market, but most of them do not keep your video in it. It just records what's happening on the screen. Whereas our screen recorder automatically will keep your video right there so that you can speak to what you're showing on the screen. The one caveat is with BombBomb, you can send out a long video like Miss Penny did. She sent a video that was 16 minutes long. In fact, you can send a video with BombBomb that's up to 45 minutes in length. However, the screen recorder can only support videos that are 5 minutes at the maximum. Otherwise, it's not going to upload properly. You're not going to be able to send it. So my recommendation, would be if you're doing something on the screen recorder, you want to keep that time around 4 minutes. 5 minutes is your absolute max. So if you plan for 4 minutes, you might go a little bit longer. So screen recorder, really, really cool. When we go back into the account in just a second here, we're going to show you exactly how to use that screen recorder. But check out how Mr. Murphy is using his screen recorder to go over some expectations.
Hey everybody, ancient history parents and students, Mr. Murphy. Hope you're doing well. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Got my orange sweater on, see? All good Protestants wear orange on St. Patrick's Day, not green. Green is the Catholic color. Protestant orange. Okay. Anyway, with that bit of history nerdness out of the way, I wanted to very quickly talk with you about my plan for ancient history for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so let me pull that up here and share that with you. First of all, communication preferences. Once again, if students are not...
We'll stop it there. So he's, you saw him, he just pulled up a document that was on his desktop. The cool thing about the screen recorder, which Kevin will show you, is that it'll record anything that's on your screen. You could go to a math website. If you send your kids to a math site, you can pull that up on the screen recorder and show them where to go. Or you can pull up a PDF document, or really anything that is on the screen of your computer, it will record. So this other example, here she's using a whiteboard to go over math concepts. So again, this video thing, there's lots of creative ways you can do with, lots of creative things you can do with it to help you really bring that clarity back into what you're teaching. So check out how she's using it to go over a math concept.
Okay, here's our next problem. So you can pause it to get it drawn. Again, you can be drawing it on a whiteboard, scrap paper, your marble notebook, it doesn't matter. All right, so when we find the area of a composite figure, we don't want to manipulate it out and up the way we did with perimeter, because then that's changing the shape of the inside. So instead, our technique is to draw segments within the shape to break it up into two different shapes. And you could be doing horizontals if you wanted, or vertical. It's up to you. Sometimes horizontal.
Can you imagine how difficult it would be to try and explain that to a student without video?
I'm laughing because that seems so foreign to me. I don't remember any of it. I can find the area of a triangle. That's about it. And then I'm stuck. So
actually, while I was helping my 5th grader with math, I popped this video out to show him because he was literally trying to find the area of shapes like that. So funny. I was like, hey, wait, I just saw a teacher doing that.
yeah.
Kevin, why don't you go ahead and jump in and show them how to use that screen recorder?
Yeah.
So I'll hand that over to you.
Perfect. All right. So I think hopefully we figured out a way last night to where you can actually see all of these pieces. So hopefully this will work again. The best part about this is, like Alicia mentioned earlier, we're working on repetition a lot tonight because I want this to start to feel more and more comfortable for you guys as you see it work time and time again. So the place we're going to start is the exact same place that we started earlier with this red record button, our quick send feature. Here's the only difference of just doing a normal recording like we did before versus a screen recorder is instead of clicking this red record button, I'm actually going to go to this record button on the left. And you can see when I hover over that, it actually says record screen on it. But basically just look for this one that has the brackets around it. That's what's going to launch the BombBomb screen recorder. So I'll go ahead and click on that. It will ask me permission, and I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and open the BombBomb screen recorder. Now, what you're going to see pop up when you're using it on your computer, you're going to see two things. Right this second, you're probably only going to see one. One of the things that you're going to see is this menu bar that pops up that says BombBomb screen recorder. It has the start recording button right there. So note, you have not started recording anything just by launching the screen recorder. You can still then pull up whatever website you want, get the document ready. We can get all of those sort of things ready right in this segment of the recording.
And the cool thing is that if you toggle over to another tab or you open up a PDF, that little tool thing that says start recording will still be there on your screen.
Yeah, that's a great point. So if you need to jump around, right? I just pulled up Google as kind of an example here. I have not started recording, so now I'm getting everything situated that I want to actually do the screen record. So the other thing you'll see, and you can't see it right now, but there's a little circle, just like you saw with Mr. Murphy, of my face on it. I'll show you guys exactly what that looks like just to give you a reference, but you can move that anywhere on the screen that you want to so that you can show the right details and the right information. But I'll go ahead and just click start recording. It gives me a countdown just like our normal recorder does. And then guess what? Anything I do from now on is being recorded in that video itself. Now there's a little stop button right below my video, that little circle with my face in it. So I'll go ahead and stop that. And it automatically loads up my video so I can rewatch it if I want to. I'm just gonna go ahead and click save because I know that video is probably flawless, right? As I've finished that. But here's what I wanna show you the most. It brings that video right back into where you started. I think that's so important because it feels a little scary that it pops you somewhere else, but guess what? When you walk through the prompts and the steps, it brings it right back in. And I'm going to play this just so you can kind of see how it looks. Anything I do from now on is being recorded in that video itself. So it's that easy. It literally pops that screen recorder right back in there. And then guess what? The rest of it is normal email stuff, right? Just like we talked about before. Email addresses, subject line, text that you stick in there. And then again, you have the choice to either send that email directly from BombBomb, which we'll talk about how to send that to a larger group of people or just a couple emails that you plug in. Or if you want to save it just so you have a link to use to pull into your system, again, we'll show you how to do that. You click that save and exit button right here. But the process is really no different. The only difference is instead of clicking that middle record button that you see right when your screen pops up, you click this little red record screen button down here. That's what launches the screen recorder so you can start working through that.
So when we come back into the account in just a minute, we're going to show you how you can upload and send to an entire list, as well as how you can send if you cannot use BombBomb. Because this is one of the things that we have heard, the feedback from teachers. Again, I think we have over 1,500 teachers that have signed up and are using this free account right now. But a lot of them have told us that they can't send from within BombBomb, that they have to send from either Infinite Campus or Schoology or Google Classroom. So we're going to show you exactly how you can do this and still send from within the place that you have to send. You know, our goal here is to make it easy for you. And if your district is like, no, you can't send from there, well, we still want you to be able to use the video thing. So we're definitely gonna show you that. And then the uploading an entire list. So the last thing that I just wanna encourage you to use video for is to communicate with your colleagues, right? You are used to having that community of teachers around you to support each other and talk about your frustrations, or to just, you know, blow off some steam and not talk about students, but talk about other things. And now in this moment, while you guys are all displaced, this is gonna be such a great way that you guys can, again, be there in person when you can't be there in person. The thing that I love about this is it's asynchronous, right? You don't have to have them right there to have a video conversation. Now, I'm sure you guys are familiar with things like Zoom or FaceTime. The BombBomb team, since we've gone remote in this last week, we're using Zoom even more than we normally use it to have meetings. Even after work, I joined Whiskey Wednesday last night at 5 p.m. I've never got to go to a Whiskey Wednesday because I'm always parenting, but I joined on Zoom last night and got to hang out with some of my colleagues. And that's a really, really great way to connect. But what if you can't meet with them at the same time when they're available? What if you want to send a quick message and say, hey, Sarah, I'm thinking about you. How are you doing? How's online learning going? You can do that through video. Again, it is going to save you time because we can speak faster than we can type. Or if you are an administrator and if you are communicating out crucial updates to your teachers, this is such a great way to maintain that presence and be able to communicate with empathy. And because you know the situation that they're in and that they're facing challenges. So I just want to encourage you to think about it other than just the having to communicate information to your students. This is also a win because it's going to give you an opportunity to maintain a sense of community and to show up with some of your other colleagues in a really human way in a time when you don't get to be face to face to each other. So it's a really, really great way to just have a little bit more of that human interaction.
I think what's so neat about this too is we've literally at BombBomb seen this in action. The community that you guys have as teachers is incredible. Whether it's within teachers in your school, right? Because you see them and work with them a lot, or even if it's just, hey, you're a teacher. Oh my gosh, I'm a teacher. There's automatically this connection and this understanding there that I don't understand because I'm not an educator. I'm not in a school like you guys are. And I think what's so powerful about this is, one, this is brand new territory for literally everybody that's dealing with this. I don't care if you're a teacher, I don't care what business you're in, we're all trying to figure our way through this. I was literally just talking with my niece the other day. She's 16, she's a junior in high school, and she was saying the frustrating thing is all of our teachers are using different systems and different softwares. I'm setting up all these things, none of them seem to be working the right way. What's going on? Think about the community that you have as a teacher and the way you can communicate some of that stuff. Hey, what are you using? How is that working for you? What are the best techniques you're doing? Or what's not? I'm trying this and I cannot get it to upload anything. I cannot get my students' emails back, right? Being able to talk as teachers, oh my gosh, I think that would just make things so helpful because now you're working through this together. You're not alone in your house by yourself trying to figure it all out.
And they get to see a human face that isn't their family.
Yeah, that's true. Huge benefit. Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it back over to Kevin so that he can show you both how to upload a list so that you can send it through BombBomb, as well as how you can send through Google Classroom or Schoology or Infinite Campus or anything like that. The other question that I just want to answer real quick that I saw here in the questions was Lori wanted to know if she could send a video to her co-teacher before sending it out to the students. Absolutely. You can send it to anyone. All it would take is you just putting in that teacher's email address, and then she could either send it out to the whole class, or if she wanted to, you know, provide you some feedback, really, really easy. The nice thing about these videos is that they don't go away. It's not like an Instagram video, like DM, that once you watch it, it goes away. These videos can be played as many times as someone opens up the email and wants to play it, as well as you can save it in your video library. It saves automatically to your video library so that you can use them over and over again.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue into literally what we're going to talk about right now. So when I was pulling open this Quick Sender, once I recorded my video, it had that save and exit option. If you do that, that saves the video into your video library. Now, where do you find that, right? Where do you come up with that? Well, I'm going to show you a second tab here that's called our Videos tab. The Videos tab is your video hub. Anything video that you need to do, you can do it within this Videos tab. And you can see, we've even got some of these examples we showed you guys today in our videos. So what's great about this, Alicia mentioned that she's got almost 8,000 videos in her account. She can literally go back and resend the very first video she ever recorded. Does she probably want to? Probably not, but she can. The capability is there. So I want you guys to know that you can find any of these videos right here. And this is also going to open up some of those different options of what can you do with the video. So let's say for that example, that question we just got, you want to send it to your teacher first. So you send it through our quick send. Your co-teacher says, thumbs up, I love it, send it out to our students. Well, guess what? You can come back in here, find the video. So we'll say it's this top one right here. And then we give you options. You can either send it directly with BombBomb right here, if you want to just take it right into our quick sender and send it again. Or the other area that I want to show you guys is this link and share option. The reason I'm going to kind of tie that word link is because you're looking for a link to the video. That's what we're going to copy and paste into our other program. So just always think about that when you click that little arrow. Once I choose link and share, it gives me these options. Now you see there are a couple of social media icons there. You can share this to social media if you want to. I don't know if you guys would be doing that a lot as teachers, but the capability is there, so know that. Otherwise, if you're wanting to send this through Infinite Campus or Schoology or Bulb or all these different systems that we're hearing, all you have to do is hit copy link and then hop into that system. I'm just going to pull up my Gmail here because that's what I have. Paste it in. You now have the link for the video right there. The best part about this is I want to continue to kind of build your excitement on this. That is only a link to this one specific video. It's not to your whole library. They can't access anything out in your BombBomb account except this one video. Now, the one caveat to this I want to mention is you're going to have to tell them that this is a video and what it's for, because this is only going to show up as a link in the email. So make sure you put a little bit of text of take a look at the link above and tell them what the video is about, or it's for our daily assignment or whatever. That way we're just encouraging them to click on that link to actually see the video itself. So that's one way where you can deliver it to multiple people and use a video again and do some different things. Or if you're required to send out of any of your systems, again, I'll just kind of walk us through that steps. I'm in the videos tab. We'll find the video we want to use, click the little gray arrow on the right and choose link and share. And I can copy this link and paste it into any system that I want to use. So that way you can still have the ability to use the videos and share it through that. So know that everybody has that option right there. The other question that we got a little bit earlier that I said I wanted to address as well is, how do I send to more than just the 10 people that the quick send allows, right? Or what if I need to send to my whole class or my whole parent roster list? The other option that we have is this third tab that I'm going to show you guys here tonight, which is the contacts tab. It's named contacts because I want you to think anything people related, right? Contacts related. Anything that's around that, you're going to go to this contacts tab. Now there's a few steps to set this up initially, and then I'll show you how easy it is once we've set this up. The first part of this process is we need to get your roster or your list of students into BombBomb. So we're going to create what's called a list. Now over here on the left side, you can see there's a section that says new list name and create list. So literally all I have to do is type on this and open it up, and I'll just type in the name that I want this list to be and click create list afterwards. You can see instantaneously the system automatically creates that for you and takes us directly into this list. So that's as easy it is. It literally takes 5 seconds to create that. Once we have the list created, you've probably already seen the button that I'm going to go to, but it's this gray add people button right here. Now we do have a couple of options. So I want to talk you through these 3 options, and then I'm going to show you what I think will be the most popular way to do this. One option is this copy and paste. You can literally just copy and paste emails into BombBomb and we'll create different contacts for you. The one thing you have to be sure to do is what this section of text says. Make sure there's a comma or a semicolon, or you hit enter after each email address. The reason being is we don't want you to spend a bunch of time and then the system thinks it's one giant email address. That doesn't do you a whole lot of good, right? So if you copy and paste those in, just make sure you put something to differentiate each email address in and you'll be good to go. That's one option. The second option is you can go one by one. If you're looking at this and going, man, I already feel a little overwhelmed. I just want to play it safe. Great. You can use the add individual section. You put their first name, last name, email address. It already has the list selected since we're adding it to this list specifically, and then you can add that contact. The third option is the one I'm going to walk you guys through right now, and this is our uploading option. If you have a list of parents or a list of students, you've got your roster, most likely it's going to be saved or exported into what's called a CSV file. Now, what is a CSV? It's basically an Excel spreadsheet, but it's a certain format of that Excel spreadsheet. And what this allows BombBomb to do is actually separate every individual cell in the spreadsheet to bring it in and assign it to where it goes. So if you already have an Excel spreadsheet, just do a save as and look for the CSV format. I already have one on my computer that I've already pre-saved here. So I'm just going to grab that to show you guys. Once I grab that, it's already there. It puts it on this list. I do want to address this permissions portion of this because this is something we get a lot of questions about. The reason we have this is because, like Alicia said earlier in the call, we work with a lot of marketers and a lot of salespeople. We are a permission-based marketing system. What does that mean? You've got to have permission to who from the recipient that you're going to send to, right? Unfortunately, not all marketers do. You guys as teachers, 100% do. So you don't need to worry about this at all. You're going to go ahead and click express permission here, because basically what that's saying is your student knows you specifically and has said you are okay to email to me. So you don't need to think about it a whole lot. Go ahead and click express permission there. and then click add contacts. Now this next screen that it takes us to is already pulling up my document. So it makes it really easy. It pulls up the first couple of lines of my document so I can select where do I want these things added to, right? So I can see here, John, Carol, Brad. Okay, those are first names. So I'll go ahead and select first name there. Now Smith, Burnett, Pitt, great. Last names, so I can choose those. Now the system automatically recognizes the emails, so you don't need to think too much about that. We'll automatically pull that in. But the one thing I do want to tell you guys about this, if you are uploading a list of 30, 40, 50, 100, however many that is in, the one thing that our system requires is an email address. If there isn't an email address on that file, it's not going to pull them into BombBomb. So sometimes we get questions asked about, well, I had 100 people on my list and it only brought in 95. Most of the time, that's the issue, is that, oh, those couple people didn't have email addresses, so we won't save them for you. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that everybody on there has email addresses. And yes, I'm sure you're sitting there going, is Kevin friends with Brad Pitt? Yes, I am. We're very close. And Brad Pitt at BombBomb is his email address. So feel free to email him. He loves hearing from people all the time. So I'll click that import members button and you'll see it'll only take a couple of seconds here. It goes pretty quickly. But you can see it already has my list of people there. Now, if you're uploading a list of a couple hundred or even 1,000 people, for whatever reason that may be, it may take a minute just because that's a lot of content that we need to bring in. Since I only had about 4 people on my list, it brought those people in really quickly, really easily. So they are all loaded onto my parents list and I'm ready to send to them. So here's how we're going to work on that next step. Once you've created that list, you don't need to do that every time. You only do it once, and then you can send to this list as many times as you want. So I'll go ahead and pop open my quick send again here just to show you guys this example. The only difference in the process, you'll still record your video the same way or do your screen record, but instead of typing in a single email address, I'm now going to type in the list name. So I'll start typing in parents and you can see it automatically recognizes that. So when I select parents, now it's going to send to all 4 of these people and it's going to BCC it to everybody. And I think that's an important thing for you guys from a privacy standpoint of knowing your parents aren't going to see every other parent's email address, right? You're still going to feel like a private conversation one-to-one between you and that parent, even though you've been able to make that, one simple solution where it's one video that you send out to everybody. But those are kind of the basic steps there. So you create the list first, then you can bring your people in. And then when you go to send it, you just type in that list name instead of actually typing in each email address. It really streamlines it. It makes life a heck of a lot easier if you're sending to the same 30 people, same 40 people over and over and over again.
So Michelle has been throwing some support links in there for you guys as we've been talking. She put a link to the screen recorder. She put a link in that chat window about uploading a list. But I want you guys to know that we have a really, really good support site. So anything that you have questions about, all you have to do is just go to support.bombbomb.com and you can search topically. So if you've forgotten how to use the screen recorder, all you have to do is just go in there, type in screen recorder, and it will pull up a video tutorial. Same thing for uploading a list. So you have all of that option available to you. The last thing that we're going to show you is our Chrome extension. Now, you're going to be blown away when you see it. And you're going to be like, why didn't they show us that first? Well, the reason is that we know that a lot of you are working on work computers that you're not allowed to add something to, or maybe you're not allowed to add Google Chrome. If you can use Google Chrome, and if you have to send through Google Classroom or Infinite Campus, this is going to be the fastest and the easiest way to do it, because the Chrome extension lives in the Chrome browser. So you can be logged in to Infinite Campus, or you can be logged into Google Classroom and access that video recorder and grab the link in less steps than having to do it the other way. So Kevin is going to walk you through it, but to add on the Chrome extension, just Google search BombBomb Chrome extension and it'll take you right to where you need to go to add it.
Yeah, it's really easy. Once you search that, it's literally this top option that says BombBomb Google Chrome. That takes you right into the Chrome web store, and all you have to do is click this blue button. No joke, this takes 15 seconds to search for it, add it, and it's ready to go. I already have it added, so I'm not going to walk through that process. But once it adds it to your account, what you're going to see is next to your search browser up here is our little BombBomb logo, our little BombBomb icon. And you'll have to log into it the first time you do it. Once you've logged in once, you're done. All you have to do is click on that. And like Alicia said here, what I love about this is it doesn't matter what website you're on. So you can be logged into whatever your system is and you click on that. We give you the option to actually record a video, so you can live record from this Chrome extension. And then after you've recorded, we give you the option to copy link, or you can send it directly via BombBomb, whatever choice you want. Or the other option, just like your video tab in BombBomb, you have access to the exact same video library straight in this Chrome extension. So you can select one of these videos, copy the URL, and then paste that into your system, and you're off and running. So this makes things a lot easier because you're not logging in and out of different websites and having to have a million different tabs open. You can be focused on the one thing that you're doing right now, pop open that Chrome extension, record your video, copy the link, and paste that in, and you're ready to go. So it's a really, really streamlined, easy way to do it if you are able to add that as well.
Yeah, if you can add it to Google Chrome, this will save you a ton of time. Can you go back to the Chrome extension and go back to that record option again? I just want to make sure you guys know the difference between, because it gives you an option if you want to just record a quick test video. It gives you an option. It says record with preview, or sorry, copy with preview. Let's see what it says there so I got it right.
Yeah, I think it's copy link.
Copy link with preview or just copy link. So when you're sending from within BombBomb, or if you copy the link with preview, it populates that video thumbnail and the first couple seconds, but that is HTML coding, okay? So your systems that you are using to communicate with your clients may not support HTML. And if you copy the link with the preview and try and pop into an email, it's just going to be jumbled code. So for your purposes, you're gonna want to just copy the link. If you're not sending from within BombBomb, don't worry about that video thumbnail. Just be really clear and let them know it's a video and just copy the link. But I wanted to make sure you guys know the difference between the two so you don't get frustrated.
Well, that's a really good point too. And I think for you guys, one, the copy link is safer, right? It will work in 100% of the systems. There's nothing that it won't work in. And you guys also have the benefit of your students know you. You're not trying to introduce yourself or sell yourself on anything. So you don't need any of those added pieces. As long as you tell them it's a video, they'll click on it. They know it's safe. So don't stress about that. Just use that blue copy link there. Yeah.
So we're starting to wrap up here. We're going to take time to answer questions. If you've been holding on to questions, please go ahead and throw them in that Q&A box. Again, we want to make sure that you guys are empowered when you log off here tonight, that you are ready to start sending videos to your students. So there's no silly questions. I know we just had another question here in the Q&A about, can your students make a recording and send it back to you? They're going to want to use that reply with video option that comes from that quick send. So if you send from that quick send, the first place that Kevin showed you, when you click on that record button and send your video, it'll have that reply with video option. Just tell them, just reference it. Say, reply with a video. Click that button that says reply with video and send it back. And that way, they won't need any software. They won't need to download anything. They don't need a BombBomb account, and you'll be able to view it, or you'll be able to view the video really easily. And that video will live in your video library too, okay? Last thing I just want to mention for you guys is that this entire program, Free for Teachers, has been grassroots, right? I mean, BombBomb employees, we shared it on our social media, but a lot of the ways that teachers are finding out is from other teachers. So we want this to be utilized. This is not a bait and switch. This is not a get all the teachers into the platform and then charge them money. That's not what this is. We honestly, truly want to serve. We are so excited about the feedback we've been hearing from teachers. Man, I saw a video from a teacher. She was in probably first grade, it looked like, and she sent a good morning video out to her teachers, and one of her students replied back with a video. Hi, I'm missing you today. And it's so incredible to get to see teachers and students being able to connect right now while you guys are displaced from each other. So please share it with your colleagues or with your administrator if you think that this could help your school. That link, bombbomb.com/education, just share it out. So Michelle is putting some more links into chat there. If you have questions, if you are stuck somewhere, email us, education@bombbomb.com. If you are in a free trial, some of our teachers didn't sign up at bombbomb.com/education and ended up in a free trial and are like, oh, how many days do I have left until I have to pay for it? We do not want you in our normal free trial. We want you to have a free account. So if when you log into your account, you see a banner at the top that says how many days are left in your free trial, email us, education@bombbomb.com, and we'll get you switched over, okay? Again, our support site, support.bombbomb.com. It's where you can get all your technical stuff. If you have forgotten something that we showed you, go there. Other than that, I don't see any other questions rolling in. I guess you guys were on it tonight, or maybe it's too late and you're sleepy.
Well, it was late. They're all East Coast, so I don't blame them. But
We gotta thank you. Thank you guys so much. We so value the work that you do. It is so important. Coming from two parents, we know that your job has just gotten so much more difficult, and anything that we can do to help you be present with your students, to be able to explain things easier, just to be able to check in and have that human connection with them, we want to empower you to do that.
well, and we're just honored to partner with you guys, really more than anything. If we can do any little bit to kind of make this transition easier for you, like I said earlier, we've got so many people close to us that are teachers. Just know how much we appreciate you, and we appreciate the hoops that you guys are jumping through. If you need anything, hop on that support.bombbomb.com website. It'll answer a lot of your questions, but just start having fun, start recording videos. I think you will be blown away at your students' responses immediately. We've been hearing so many fun stories about it already in the first week here. So just thank you for letting us be a part of your journey through this.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.